Last week, we made a video about the original backstory of Darth Vader, as well as what the sequel trilogy in George Lucas's original mind was going to focus around. We explored how the next trilogy, Star Wars Episode 7, 8, and 9, were going to focus around Luke Skywalker looking for his true sister. As in the original drafts for Star Wars, Leia was never meant to be Luke Skywalker's sister, and the sister was going to play the main role in the sequel trilogy with Luke as a mentor. Today, though, I wanted to share more backstory on the original ending of Star Wars Episode 9 as revealed by Mark Hamill. I want to make it clear though that this is not the original story that George Lucas came up with. This is the story that he had after Return of the Jedi and after the prequels, and the story that George Lucas told Mark Hamill and how his story was going to end in Episode 9. So according to Mark Hamill, again the main threat of the sequel trilogy would have been the Emperor. The Emperor would in fact again return, trying to get Luke Skywalker to turn to the dark side of the Force, as well as having a new protagonist and a young female Jedi that Luke Skywalker would train. Along with this though, there was going to be another Jedi that Luke would be training over the trilogy, someone that started out not too interested in learning the ways of the Force but would eventually grow and become another Jedi Master herself. That Jedi Master at the end of the Star Wars trilogy would have been Leia. Unfortunately, we don't have all of the connecting dots of George Lucas's sequel trilogy. All we know is, in a final ditch effort to save his family and a new Jedi Order, Luke Skywalker was going to sacrifice himself at the end of Star Wars Episode 9. Sacrifice himself and ultimately defeat the Emperor. Apparently, originally, even in George Lucas's story, Han Solo was going to die in Star Wars Episode 7, and then Leia was going to undertake the training of a Jedi in full swing in Star Wars Episode 8. Again, with the Emperor being the main antagonist in all three Star Wars movies, but from the shadow in the first two, that being 7 and 8, and making another grand physical appearance in Star Wars Episode 9, where Luke and the Emperor would fight using Force abilities for a final time. Again, in order to defeat the Emperor, Luke Skywalker would give up his life and the two of them would die, the light and the dark coming to balance. But again, a new generation of Jedi being trained specifically by Jedi Master Leia. Luke Skywalker was going to be again another major focus for the sequel trilogy, and there were going to be other younger Jedi characters, but again, they weren't going to be the main character. The main characters were always Luke and Leia, and specifically Leia's training to become a Jedi Knight. It was also apparently going to show a fully capable Luke Skywalker as a Jedi Knight, and George Lucas has even hinted in the past that perhaps in Episode 7, Luke would not have been a Jedi Master yet, and that the final Star Wars sequel trilogy was going to be Luke's progression from a Knight to a Master, and Leia's progression to a Knight. With the end, the Skywalkers living on in the form of Leia and others training a new generation of Jedi without the threat of the Emperor, paving a new path for the Star Wars universe. But again guys, there's tons of different backstory which I would love to cover on the channel. So if you guys enjoy these type of videos of me looking back at the original stories of Star Wars, be sure to leave a like. In the end though, I want to hear your thoughts on this and the original story ending of Episode 9 in George Lucas's mind, and how in Star Wars Episode 9 Luke Skywalker was going to give his life to finally defeat the Emperor, with Leia moving on to become the next Jedi Grand Master, and the story of the sequel trilogy revolving around young Jedi Luke Skywalker as well as Leia. Thank you guys as always so much for watching. May the Force be with you and have a great day.